Something that no one tells you about when you are deeply, deeply wounded and betrayed is that when you start dating again and when you're with somebody new, you no longer care. You were once really clingy and really a lover boy or girl and you really trusted someone. You have now flipped the tables to you do not trust anybody to the point where you are just automatically assuming they are betraying you and you do not give a fuck about their lies, their excuses. Like the second someone slips up, you're done. You're done and you leave without a trace. You're fucking ghost. Ghost, like we weren't even there, vanished. People do not understand. If they have not been through something like this, they do not understand. We do not have time to waste. We do not have months, years, weeks, days, hours, minutes to waste. We do not give second chances. People who have not been betrayed so deeply do not understand that give them a second chance. You're being too harsh. You're judging based on the past. Yes, I am. Yes, I am judging based on the past, bitch. And I'm using it. I'm using that evidence so that I do not end up in hell again. I am not being traumatized again. You go through something like this, you become so emotionally non-reactive if you've done the work. You become emotionally non-reactive because you've just fought so hard in that previous relationship to defend yourself, to figure out what they're doing, to try to like work around the gaslighting and the manipulation that you just do not have a spare whisper of energy left to do it in a new relationship ever again. So if you sense an ounce of disrespect or red flag, you just accept that they are the way they are. You no longer try to change them or make excuses for them or love them despite. You only have the energy to love people as they are and to have them come correct. I know no one who's been through this disagrees with me. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments, but this is really how I'm feeling right now. Silence is peace and peace is king, and we are not letting anybody disturb it. If you don't like me, you don't like me, that's fine. You want to cheat on me, go ahead and cheat on me. I'm gone. I am gone. I already expected you to do that. I've already detached before we even got attached. So I'm sorry. The love comes after the actions over time. We're new people now. Peace.
Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Miss Kafue. So ladies, we all know what you're talking about today. What type of woman did the betrayal change you to? I'm telling you, if the betrayal did not better you, did not make you into a better woman, did not make you get your lick back, did not, I don't know, then the betrayal was useless. And I know many of us have our stories about the women we became after the betrayal. And in this video, we are talking about the type of woman you tend to become after facing so many betrayals, so many disappointments. We are talking about that woman. So anyway, ladies, let's jump right into this video and then I'll be back to give my take on it.
Be careful of women who don't have a lot of friends. Let me explain why. First of all, they peep energy quick. She done walked into rooms and felt the tension before a word was even said. Second of all, she don't entertain drama. If it ain't peace or purpose, she don't want it around her at all. Third of all, she done got betrayed by the one she loved the most. Now she moving with caution. Fourth of all, she selective, not lonely. Her alone time feel better than fake company. Fifth of all, she don't need no crowd to feel validated. And that scares people away who rely on attention to feel important. Sixth of all, she not easy to be fooled. She done study real versus fake through experience and she ain't doubling back. Seventh of all, her peace is sacred. If she lets you in her life, you gotta understand she felt you spiritually first. Eighth of all, she learned the hard way. Not everybody who claps for you is happy for you. Ninth of all, she got depth. Small talk and shallow energy just drain her. She crave real connections or nothing. And 10th of all, she don't move off of desperation, she move off of discernment. And people tend to take this as standoffish. Just because she don't got a lot of friends don't mean she antisocial. She just finally at peace. And she ain't finna just let you come in and ruin her peace. Come correct or don't come at all. I love y'all. Have a blessed day.
After the faithful has been betrayed, so many of them go through post-infidelity stress disorder, which is a form of PTSD. And I had several people in the comments comment things like, I hate the new me, I hate who I've become, I XYZ when it comes to who they've become after betrayal. So unfortunately, due to the PTSD of betrayal trauma, many people find themselves as a completely different person and they want to go back to the way they were before. Here's the thing, you can't. You can only go forward. And I think the hardest part about this is we can't go back. We only can go forward. So what does that mean? That means complete healing. If you're over 5 years and still deeply traumatized, and you've gone to individual therapy, you've read the books, you've done the things, and you're still really struggling and having the night terrors and the fear for anybody ever betraying you, or if people judge you a certain way, then you need to do or try a few different things. One, switch therapists. Try something new. It might help you. Number two, I've talked about neurofeedback has shown very successful when it comes to PTSD. It actually can help with ADHD and autism. They're starting to test it on NPD. I mean, there's great things about it. Look into neurofeedback. Also, EMDR therapy has been shown to help, and something called brain spotting, which is hard to kind of explain, but that has also been proven to help PTSD. And then another thing that I want you to do is to have grace with yourself. Who you were before is unfortunately not going to be there anymore, but you can recreate a new version of you that is healed and is healthy. And this new version of you can even be better. You know, you'll see the signs of abuse. You'll see red flags in people sooner. And maybe you jump to conclusions a little too soon, but you're going to learn how to not do that. But when you become a healed version and you start to give yourself the grace that it takes, and you start writing, journal the good things about you. Start concentrating on the things that are beautiful and right with you, not all the things that are wrong. Because gratitude takes our hurt and our pain and elevates us into a better place and state of mind. Work on loving the things about you that are there, that are positive, and start to heal the things that aren't. We can't go back. There's a reason why the rear view mirror is much smaller than your windshield. You need to look forward far more than you need to look back. So look forward, heal forward, and grow and change and heal.
This is how I recovered from absolutely devastating heartbreak and betrayal in just a few months. For reference, I was cheated on while I was pregnant and postpartum. I was waking up with panic attacks. I was crying in public. I was crying to strangers. I was crying while I was breastfeeding. I couldn't hold a normal conversation with anybody without tears. I was not okay, and it was debilitating. All with a newborn to take care of. So I was on my knees praying to God to help me. I was using ChatGPT religiously like it was my Bible. I started therapy. I saw a spiritual healer to try and remove the negative energy off of me. I was desperate to feel better. So finally, I called my doctor and they prescribed me Zoloft. Who knew? I am a new person. I'm so much better. I'm thriving as a mom. And the best part is that I don't give a fuck what that man is doing with the girl that he's with, that he cheated on me with. It really is freeing, and this is just what worked for me. So if you are down bad, it's okay to ask for help. Desperate times call for desperate measures. If this is your situation, follow along. We can do this together, and you got this.
I've been severely betrayed by every person that I've ever loved and trusted. After so much betrayal and so much heartbreak, I finally realized that I had to stop betraying myself, dude. Quit chasing love. I quit chasing people's validation. I quit begging people to stay in my fucking life that clearly threw me away like I meant nothing. And I started to love on myself, validate myself, really fucking work on myself. Done letting other people set me back, dude. I'm a good ass fucking woman. I'm a hard ass fucking worker. And I deserve success and happiness in this fucking world. Ain't up to nobody else but me to make sure that shit fucking happens. To me to set firm and solid boundaries and make sure that no motherfucker outside of me can take that shit away. It's always been up to me. And I'm grateful I finally realized that.
You know, betrayal is heartbreaking. It's one of the worst things that any woman or man could ever go through. I know. I've been there. My husband left me for another woman and made a home with her. And I was devastated. I was a shell of a woman. But So few people talk about what happens on the other side of it. The strength and the determination and the courage and the confidence and the sexiness that you find in yourself, that you grow in yourself. Nobody ever really talks about that. They talk about trying to fix the relationship or figure out what's wrong with him and try to help him even though he betrayed you. Now, I'm here to tell you that you work on yourself and you honestly will be amazed at what you're going to accomplish in 3 months, 6 months, year, 10 years from now. You're going to amaze yourself. Till next time.
When you walked away, so did your protection. This message may not resonate with everyone, but if it is for you, you will feel it in your spirit. There's a deep betrayal that took place recently, and it came from someone that you least expected it from. I'm hearing that this really shook you. You did not see this coming because this was someone that you trusted. Someone that you never in a million years thought would do you like that. This particular incident, whatever it was, really hurt you. I mean, deeply, deeply hurt you. This betrayal could have been from a romantic partner, a very close friend, or a family member. You were loyal, you were genuine, you were loving, and they still chose to betray you. I keep seeing the number 4, so this could have happened in 2024, this could have happened recently in the month of April, or 4 weeks ago, 4 months ago, from the date that you see this video. Take it how it resonates. But your guides want you to know that when you walked away and you chose yourself, divine justice stepped in. This person is now experiencing the consequences of their actions. Some are financially struggling. They're losing income, whether they lost a job or whether their business is just not doing well. But I'm seeing that there's some who are financially struggling. Others have developed some serious health issues since your fallout. They might have even had a medical emergency recently. And others may be experiencing the loss of people around them, whether they're having people walk away from them or literal loss of people close to them. I'm seeing that this person is suffering silently. You may notice some might still be posting on social media and acting like life is good, and it's not. You can't fake energy. There's others who might have completely disappeared and haven't posted in weeks or maybe even months because they are really going through it. See, you were the blessing. You were the protection. And when they betrayed you, they also removed themselves from the covering that came with being connected to you. But let me be clear, we do not wish pain, suffering, or harm on anyone. That's not your energy, okay? But you did not have to seek revenge. Divine justice, karma, is now at play. When you move with pure intentions, you are divinely protected. And when that protection is violated, the universe responds accordingly. What's happening now is simply a result of their own choices, because you did not absorb that energy. You decided to walk away. You chose yourself, and that energy has to find somewhere to go. So it went right back to them. You didn't have to retaliate. You didn't have to explain. Your spirit team is handling it all. And now they have to sit with the consequences of their actions. They have to sit with what they did to you. Now they have to watch you rise. But don't stay focused on them, because this next chapter is all about you. You honored your spirit. You stood in your truth, and now you're being elevated. Room is now being made for more peace and more purpose and more protection in your life. The tables have turned. The tables have turned, but your only job now is just to keep rising. So if this message found you and it was for you, trust that you are protected. What's ahead is far greater than anything that you've left behind.
What if the one who betrayed you was not your enemy? What if? What if I told you that the one who betrayed you was not your enemy, but they were actually your initiation? What if their betrayal was not a curse, but actually a cleansing? Betrayal isn't just heartbreak, it's a ritual of fire. When someone cheats, lies to you, abandons you, they do more than break your heart. They break down the illusion that you were sleeping under. Yes, it was an illusion. And yeah, it's gonna feel violent. It feels cruel. But spiritually, it's surgery. It's an operation. And your ancestors will sometimes allow the betrayal to occur. Not because they hate you. But you were too comfortable, and the comfort was slowly killing you. You were loyal to timelines that no longer belong to you. And the big chop, the knife had to come. The betrayal had to come. Psychologically, betrayal collapses your nervous system, literally. It forces your brain into chaos. But metaphysically, it forces your spirit into a rebirth. The pain strips down the truth. You can never outsource your own worth. And you cannot keep bleeding for a love that keeps poisoning you. And here's the thing no one tells you. Betrayal is sticky, man. It's sticky and it's heavy. It lingers. It lingers in your energy field. It lingers in your dream. You literally can't even sleep. Your sleep is fractured. Your joy is muted. And that's because their imprint is still sitting in your energy field. And that's where the healing comes in. That's where alchemy comes in. That's where you cleanse. That's where you alchemize your energy. Here's what you do. Cleanse your spirit. Cleansings are NB after the breakup or betrayal. Cleanse. Cleanse your womb. Cleanse your womb. Call back your power. Face east. Forta. Chant this. I call back every fragment of me stolen by your lies. Write their name on a piece of paper. Burn it and blow it into the air. Reclaim your body. Oil your joints and say, I recall myself. I re-enter my body. Timeline jump. Get 2 chairs, one on the left, one on the right. Sit in the left chair and speak the old story. Sit as if you were leaving the chair. Don't lean back on it. Stand up, step into the right chair, and speak the new story. I don't chase, I choose, and I am chosen. My life is in alignment. I leave the old and I am never to return. Go and feed your altar. Don't feed the wound. Speak to your ancestors. Don't speak to the betrayer. And seal all of this with gratitude. Light a candle and speak to your ancestors. And say, the lesson is complete. I thank you for the initiation. I release them to their own journey. I seal myself to mine. For 7 days, cover your head and your navel, guarding your crown and your life reinforcement. Revow. Write new boundaries and speak them until they become your law. The betrayer was never your enemy. It was your rebirth. It was your cleansing. It was your initiation. The one who betrayed you was never a curse. And the blood on the floor, that was not your end. It was your new life.
This video is for the men, and I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet and to the point. I see often on various apps where men, they talk about the woman who glows up after a toxic relationship. When that woman leaves that toxic marriage or that toxic relationship, there's a lot of men who are very vocal about how that woman all of a sudden, she's back with God and she's focusing on her relationship with God and meditating, and now she's in the gym and she's focusing on her temple, her body, and becoming more physically fit, and she's now regaining her confidence and focusing on her purpose and self-fulfillment, and now with that comes more money. She's more abundant, and you hear a lot of the women, and he's talking about, she's at peace. And these men who are making videos like this, they say, don't mess with that woman. That woman is at peace. Don't mess with that woman unless you're serious. And he's right. That woman has found her happy, her joy. The joy of the Lord is her strength. Let me tell you why that is, because a lot of you men seem to question, why is it that when a woman breaks up or leaves a toxic marriage, she glows up? I'm here to shed insight, and I'm here to give you the reason why. Men, the reason why you find so many women glow up after leaving you, if you happen to be that person that she left and you were toxic or abusive, here's the reason why. God is illustrating to you how that woman should have been while in your care. Now that she is in God's hands directly, with no interference, God is now doing your job. God is now her protector, her redeemer, her peace, her joy. See? So now, because she's with God, And this is why so many women say they really don't want to deal in a relationship, because they don't want the drama. They don't want the toxic. You know why? Because she knows that she's better off in her singleness with God. Because one thing is for certain and two things is for sure. She's going to have joy. The joy of the Lord is her strength. He's going to be her Prince of Peace. He's going to be her Redeemer, her protector, her provider. These are all the things you should have been to her, but you fumbled her. God gave you a chance when he blessed you with her. She was a gift. You mistreated her. So now God has to show you how much of a gift she really is when she's in the right hands. So whenever you see a woman that glows up after a toxic relationship, that glow is coming from the Holy Ghost. Why are all these women coming into financial abundance? Because God is their provider. But now so many of you men are so self-centered into thinking, oh, don't nobody want a woman with, don't nobody care about no woman's money, and, they're not happy. They're going to die alone with a bunch of guys. Listen, when a woman has found God, you're not giving her a reason to be anywhere else. That is why it's important for a man to reflect Christ. She should be able to see God when she sees you, when she speaks with you, when she interacts with you. And when you don't show up as God, when you're not showing up in your character and your emotional and relational state, she's better off in the hands of God. And there's so many women all over this world that have proven that. They have been protected for. They have been provided for. They have more peace. They have their confidence. Their body is right. Their mental faculties is right. So have you really given her a reason to disrupt all that? Because see, when you come into her life, she shouldn't see where God ends and you begin, or where you begin and God ends. That's what your position is supposed to be when you are entering into the life of one of God's own. Now, of course, I'm not talking about women who are lovers of money or, making idols out of themselves. But for the most part, God is trying to show you how it's done. That's why I say he wrote the blueprint. If you men would follow it, then maybe you would have healthier relationships, and maybe the byproduct that you receive from her will be actually what you're looking for. But because so many of you are contending with God instead of working with God, well, God has allowed her to find her peace and her joy apart from you men. She's under new management now. God is her protector. So now you got to go through him if you want to access her. So that's my insight. Heart this video if you found it insightful. Share it with someone that you think would benefit from it, and let's get in the comments and talk about it.
It didn't hurt him to hurt you. That is the theme of the next couple of videos I'm going to do. I found out in August 2020 that my husband of almost 20 years was having an affair. And I found that the community online that I quickly became a part of was the best thing. And so I want to, all these years later, to be a support to anybody that is finding themselves in the early days or the early weeks and months of that experience. It's terrible. And the thing that really helped me to get through it was hearing the stories of others, so that I didn't feel so alone, because that is definitely one of the things that happen in the beginning is you feel so incredibly alone, so incredibly ashamed, and so incredibly embarrassed. And that it's scary. And so I want to be a support person and just let you know my story so that it can give you hope for your story. And so August of 2020 is when I found out, and my world came crashing in. I was not anticipating this happening. I didn't know that he was capable of it. And I also did not anticipate it being the mother of one of my child's very best friends at the time. So it felt like a double betrayal in a lot of ways. But anyway, I just want you to know that you're going to get through it. It's really hard in the beginning, but just know that it is not you that is the issue, it is them. And all these years later, that's really the biggest takeaway. In the beginning, you tend to look inward and examine yourself, like, what could I do differently? How could I be better? What was so wrong with me? Why wasn't I enough? All those self-doubt questions come in, and they come in like a tsunami in your brain, and you can't turn them off. But one of the things that I have really discovered through lots of therapy, and also just hearing and listening to stories of others, is that it really has nothing to do with you. You could be like literally the worst person in the world. You could be the worst spouse. You could suck at everything, and you still don't deserve it. Like, there were other things that could have been done, like filing for divorce, handling like an adult. But to go behind the back of the person who trusts you the most in the world, there's just no justification for it. So that's really the first thing, is it's not you. It's really not. There's nothing that you could do differently that would have changed it. So they chose what they chose, they did what they did, and it has nothing to do with you. And it's not a reflection of you, it's a reflection of their own moral character. So I think that's the first thing. And the second thing is get into therapy if you can afford it. It's really helpful to have a third party just kind of listen and help you navigate. I found it to be really helpful over the years, to be a safe place for me to be able to talk, and also to get a perspective on things, because at that moment you just feel like you're drowning, and so perspective is just not something you have. So it really helped me to gain a perspective, and to also evaluate and decipher through things, because by the time that this happens, at least in my case, I had been told so many things about who I was as a person that I had believed. And so when I found out about the infidelity, I was already like full of so much self-doubt about myself. Like, everything I ever thought or felt was always like too much, not enough. You know, everything was, my response in his eyes was never appropriate, no matter what it was. So like, if I wanted to celebrate a birthday or get a birthday gift or something, like, I was too vain or too materialistic. If I wanted to have like a nice thing, I was materialistic. If I wanted, whatever it is, it was always like too much or too little, like it just was, it was never right. It was never right. And so by the time this happened, I was full of so much self-doubt. Like, my feelings on anything were never the right ones to have. And so after you've been living with that for so long, and I didn't really question it often, because I trusted him that he had my best interest in mind and in heart. And I think that was one of the biggest things, is just be really careful of the things that you have believed up to this point, because they might not be accurate. And so don't look inward when it comes to the infidelity, because it wasn't you. Like, it wasn't you. Like I said, you could be the worst person in the world, and maybe you are. I mean, I don't know. I don't know you, but you still didn't deserve it. So it doesn't really matter. You didn't deserve it. So anyway, I'm going to do a couple more videos on this topic, because I've seen a lot recently from this one particular poster that is spreading a lot of craziness, and I just think it is not what people who have been cheated on need to hear. You don't need to hear about how you need to stay in your marriage and go to therapy and help them work on their issues. It's not your responsibility. It's not. It's their responsibility. If they cared, they would. So anyway, I will see you later. Bye.
Let me tell you, when I was in the middle of the betrayal 5 years ago, I did not imagine that the woman that is speaking right now would ever exist. If anything, I almost thought my life was over. to be honest. And that's what my abuser wanted me to believe. That's what he wanted me to be. He wanted me to believe that I was in need of him more than he was in need of me. But that is a lie, you know. So once you sit through the pain, you sit through the tears like I did, and then you come to the other side of the healing. Oh my God. Like, you can never be prepared for all that you'll come across. Because tell me why, after the betrayal, I became such a better woman. And I vowed that I'd fix my toxic ways too, that I'd become a better partner in my next relationship. And I'm happy that I've become a better person, all in all, a better friend, a better family member, a better partner, a better daughter. Like, I've become a better person in all rounds, you know. So if the betrayal is not normally just a betrayal, it's a rebirth. That's what I want you to understand from this video. So if you're facing a betrayal right now, you're in a hard situation, your marriage has ended, your relationship has ended, it doesn't matter. Like, you found out that your forever man was really just a situationship, don't worry. Let me tell you, God has a way of redirecting things. May you see the beauty in your redirection, queen. Let me tell you, hold on there, sit through the pain, don't ignore the pain, cry those tears, cry. Get closer to God, work hard, cleanse yourself, stay celibate, stay away from men for some time, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Create room for the life that's coming your way, because even you won't be able to comprehend the life that you'll be living in a few years, because that woman will be very different from the woman that you're seeing in the mirror today. Hey, so ladies, I have nothing but positive things to say about the woman I became after the betrayal. And something else, okay, maybe it's positive and maybe it's ruthless, it's brutal, but I became very ruthless. I've become like a big dog. I've become very ruthless. Like, I have no patience for anyone. I speak my mind. I don't care. I'm not afraid to say no. That's also the other side of me that I've become. And I've become very aggressive in fighting for what I want, in fighting for the life I believe my child and I deserve. I've become very aggressive, and I will protect that life with everything that I have. So anyway, ladies, let me know, did you love this topic? Comment down below on the woman that you became after the betrayal, and I'll be happy to engage with you. Anyway, ladies, please have a nice week ahead of you, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.